identificar, escuchar y entender las palabras.
All right.
Lo más difícil es hablarlas.
Okay. That things Ivy throw everything away. Now Ivy stopped swimming. Well, far be it from me to say, but there is more to this world than swimming really fast. There are many different possible lives ahead of you. Like I said last week, you could be laxaries, Ivy been researching, and it was then that the phone rang. 1 minute, said Mr. N softly. I'd better get that. A moment later, Nora watched Mr. Ernst on the phone. Yes, she's here now. The librarian's face fell in shock. She turned away from Nora, but her words were audible across the hushed room. Oh no, no, oh my god, of course. 19 years later, the man at the door. 27 hours before she decided to die, Nora sat on her dilapidated sofa, scrolling through the other people's happy lives, waiting for something to happen. And then, out of nowhere, something actually did. Someone, for whatever peculiar reason, rang her doorbell. She wondered for a moment if she shouldn't get the door at all. She was, after all, already in her nightclothes, even though it was only 9 p.m. She felt self-conscious about her oversized echo-borrowed t-shirt and her tartan pajama bottoms. Uh, she put on her slippers to be slightly more civilized and discovered that the person at the door was a man, and one she recognized. He was tall and gangly and bushy, with a kind face, but his eyes were sharp and bright, like they could see through things. It was good to see him, if a little surprising, especially as he was wearing sports gear and he looked hot and sweaty despite the cold, rainy weather. The juxtaposition between them made her feel even more slovenly than she had done 5 seconds earlier. But she'd been feeling lonely, and thought she'd studied enough existential philosophy to believe loneliness was a fundamental part of being a human in an essentially meaningless universe. It was good to see him. Ash, she said, smiling. It's Ash, isn't it? Yes, it is. What are you doing here? It's good to see you. A few weeks now, she'd been sat playing her electric piano and he'd run down Bancroft Avenue and had seen her in the window. Here at 38 and giving her a little wave he had once, years ago, asked her out for a coffee. Maybe he was about to do that again. It's good to see you too, he said, but his tense forehead didn't show it. When she'd spoken to him in the shop, he'd always sounded breezy, but now his voice contained something heavy. He scratched his brow, made another sound, but didn't quite manage a full word. You're running a pointless question. He was clearly out for a run, but he seemed relieved and momentary to have something trivial to say. Yeah, I'm doing the bet for half. It's the Sunday. Alright, great. I was thinking of doing a half marathon, and then I remembered I hate running. It had sounded funnier in her head that it did as actual words, being vocalist out of mouth. She didn't even hate running, but still she was perturbed, perturbed to see the seriousness of his expression. The silence went beyond outward into something else. You told me you had a cat, he said eventually. Yes, I have a cat. I remembered his name, Voltaire. A ginger tabby? Yeah, I call him Balls. He finds Voltaire a bit pretentious. It turns out he's not massive into 18th century French philosophy and literature. He's quite down to earth, for a cat. And she looked down at her slippers. I'm afraid I think he's dead. What? He's lying very still by the side of the road. I saw the nail on the collar. I think a car might have hit him. I'm sorry, Nora. She was scared. She was so scared of her sudden switch in emotions right then that she kept smiling, as if the smile uh, could keep her in the world. She had just been in the one where Waltz was alive and where this meant she'd sold guitar, some books, to had rung her doorbell for another reason. Ash, she remembered, was a surgeon, not a veterinary one, a general